Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where we're sitting at the same position as we were at this time last year, wanting a manager to leave the club. Obviously yesterday's result against Celtic was awful. The manager, the performance is shocking. And the buck stops with the manager and what he's trying to do with these players, and it's clearly not working. We're now 4 points behind Celtic out the Champions League. And something that rings with me for the press conference against PSV. He had objectives that him and the board set out and planned, and that the two of them were at the top of the league going into the international break and qualifying for the Champions League, and we've failed on both aspects of that now. And that yesterday kind of it signals that Michael Beale's time is up for me anyway. It's I don't know why we're obviously going to go and persevere going into the next game, but it looks at it because action would have been taken, I believe. But aye, we'll get into it. We've obviously been yesterday talking our thoughts and stuff as well. So aye, if you do like the video though, like, subscribe, and share. Is always very appreciated. And yesterday, you look for positives in any kind of bad result you can then take on in the next game. But there's nothing in that game apart from maybe Dujon Sterling coming in at left back that I can really look at yesterday and thought, aye, that was good.
There's nothing, mate. There's generally nothing apart from that. You could say Sterling, that's about it. Obviously, we know the refereeing decision, shambolic. Referee had a poor game, but apart from it, I mean, aye, this is brutal, mate. It's brutal. It's, as you say, it's time to go. I can't believe we find ourselves in this situation again. We thought we were going to have a manager that would maybe do something. Obviously don't think he's the guy. I think we're all in the same boat. I just think he's clueless. I think probably the best thing for him about this job probably is you can see there he's lost a bit of timber. He's looking a bit thinner. But I can't think anything positive to say about that game yesterday. I just thought
Nah,
it was shambolic, man.
nah, it's one of the most gutless performances in an old firm game I've ever seen. As well, I mean we've played Celtic in the past with teams that were never meant to compete and still showed more. In terms of ability, in terms of a manager with a clear identity and game plan, and the players carrying out instructions on the pitch to a good degree. I mean, yesterday was just a clusterfuck at everything. Obviously, you look at refereeing decisions, but we never done anything to go and rectify that. We never wanted that buzzy scoring again because we didn't create anything. I don't care what Michael Beale comes out and says in his press conference, by the way. We did not create near enough big chances than he's saying.
No,
We're just
there was no
fucking, it's
chance.
pedestrian and slow and it's boring.
There was generally nothing there, mate. You know, you had players, as I say, usual. It's the same all the time on their Instagram, getting it the whole big one. And then when it comes to delivering on the part, they can't do it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had enough of it. I've had enough of players like Raskin and Cantwell. Didn't turn up at all for me. Dessers, I mean, what a waste of money for me. Tavernier and Goldson, shocking again. The only positive, as you say, probably Sterling's performance. Butland did well again. I can't think of a single player for us. Apart from Kemal Roof. Kemal Roof for me was the only one who actually was up for it. He looked like he wanted to play for Rangers. He
Mm-hmm.
understood what it is to play for Rangers in these games. He wanted obviously charge everyone on and get them going, but nah, I think it comes back to the manager.
Mm-hmm.
It's just no fit for it. He has to go. I mean, I've had a sleepless night with all I've been replaying is Sam Lammers' chance in my head. I just don't understand how that didn't go
No.
in. Yeah.
When are we ever going to stop buying players that can't score into open nets?
I know.
Aye, that's a big moment in the game, definitely, because although we had a lot of the ball in the second half, we weren't doing anything decisive. We weren't cutting Celtic open, really. That was the only time I could really think back to, right, aye, that's a good chance for us to score. I think everyone else was hitting hope, and obviously
When
the substitutions that Michael Beale made as well. When Sam Lammers came on, and who else was it that came on?
the Lammers and what's his name?
Danilo.
Danilo.
And then obviously the boos that are met with that. Watching the clip back the day that I saw on on Twitter for that. That's a loud, that's a large majority of your fan base in that stadium not agreeing with the decision you're making. Like, they big calls have to pay off. Like, Gio done it. Gio brung Roof on for Morelos, and Roof went and won as a game. So then you can look at that and be like, right, we were wrong. Hold your hands up. He made the call as a manager, but I'm not saying Roof was unplayable, was the wrong decision, but you've got Cyril Dessers up there, and he can't hold up all up. He's got no strength to even bully their centre halves. He's got no ability on the ball, really.
No awareness that he's offside to more than 2 or 3 times.
It was just a baffling decision at the time. Everybody expected his number to be pulled up, and it never happened. But even going back to the first half as well, you think you're off to the dream start. It's offside, obviously, with the goal. You then let Celtic play football. Why are we letting Brendan Rodgers' Celtic team come to Ibrox and just let them play? Why are we not in their faces? Why are we not pressing them? We're at home, and they looked. It was at Celtic Park. That Celtic team played with a lot of security on the ball. Like they were comfortable with what they were doing, and they've got a thrown together team, really. Lager, Bielka, and Scales have had one game next to each other. The two of them would have never played that game if other people were fit, and we never done anything towards them.
And that's what I'm on about, not smelling the danger, not sensing that, you know what I mean, a shark in the water with the blood there, there's no killer instinct there for me, you know, going into this game. You know, we're hearing Celtic fans saying, oh, we're going to get battered or what have you. Quite a lot of Celtic fans I know were feeling like that. I was always aware it's an old firm game, anything can happen, but Jesus Christ, as you're saying, I sent 2 centre-halves that only played, one game with each other, and you're no, come on. I just think Celtic were there for the kill. I think if it was a proper team, we went out, we pressed them, we got in their face, we did everything right, we could have been coming away with an important win. But no, that's not what we do, is it?
And Michael Beale's record in big games will still come back to haunt him. He's not won one since he's been here.
I mean, we can sit here and talk about the game, but I'm sorry, it's his job for me that we have to talk about. He's got to take all his, not won a single big game. Games that matter, that prove that you're a Rangers manager. You're at least at the capability to be a Rangers manager. You've not won a single one. You look clueless. You look like you don't know what you're doing. You just look like you're just throwing it all. You know what I mean? Well, I'll put him on, see what happens. It's just I can't do this again. Like, it's rinse and repeat. Have a manager, get him his own players. He gets until Christmas time, March maybe, sack him when there's nothing to play for anymore. And then we just keep going and going for there. They should have sacked him, I think last night. I'd have sacked him after the game. Personally, I'd have sacked him at half time. He is not good enough to lead this club. He's a championship manager at best. Bottom half championship manager at best for me. I don't think he's just not fit for the job, man.
Nah, as you say, there's just nothing to take away for the game yesterday. You can really look at this ever changing for Michael Beale. We now go into an international break, which is worse for him and the players, because they would want to come back out and play the next game as quick as possible to try and rectify that. I would like to hope so, because he's going to sit there for 2 weeks, and he's just the pressure's going to mount and mount on this game coming up. If we drop points,
show me the Rangers fans that want him to stay, that actually believe in him. Not a single person does. He should be gone. And as for that spineless captain turning around saying I'm happy with my form or whatever yesterday, shocking, ridiculous, mate. You've not been at the levels that you used to be at. Do you know what I mean? I think, as I say, Saudi, on you go, bro.
Nah, and that's another big issue of the club is James Tavernier's coming out in the media, and he's just, what annoys me about Tavernier, right, is see when he's talking to the media after a defeat, it's the same, like, it's recycled words he says all the time. It just feels empty. It feels hollow. I'm like, do you even care about what you're saying? Do you just want to get off the fucking camera so you can, like, forget about all this? I go into Twitch and start streaming. And then obviously the press conference as well, people asking the manager about Tavernier, and he was like, I think criticism of him's harsh. That's where we'll never go and proceed as a club if we can't clearly see our right back, our captain's not good enough anymore, and has to be replaced, not even replaced forever for the full season. Just taking out the team at big times and giving somebody else a chance.
That's what I said to yourself yesterday. Any manager, any top manager knows to take Tavernier off for me, put Sterling at right back and bring Yilmaz on. That's what I would have done. I really thought Sterling was having a positive game, one of the only ones. But the def was brought him off. He's not at the levels anymore for me. I can't keep doing this. I love Connor Goldson, but I mean the mistakes. But as I say, all four of them at the back have got mistaken him, but the mistakes, man, it's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The two of them get away with maybe a bit too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But to say I've had it with this manager already.
Nah.
As I say, it's the first international break, and I'm already thinking to myself, I kind of just don't want it to come back. Really, you know what I mean? It's only the
Nah.
start of the season, and we're already chasing him. We're already
Nah.
chasing him. I mean, credit to Chris Boyd and what Chris Boyd was saying on Sky Sports. You know what I mean? But the only one for me that was actually talking sense. All this stuff, obviously, about PSV and what have you. There was none of that last season when we played them, and obviously this season again, we're already chasing. We're already chasing now.
Mm-hmm. Nah. No, we're in the position where, as you say, it's inevitable. Michael Beale will get sacked. It's not an if. It's basically when.
It's on the board. If the board had a spine, if the board actually had a spine, they would have sacked him, as I say last night.
Mm-hmm.
He
But
should be
I
gone.
know what the board are thinking. The board are thinking we've given this guy this money and we want it to work. But see, when you're met with that loud reaction at full time, you know you're done. It's done. If you can't provide a result for a full crowd at Ibrox, no away fans against your
No
biggest
selling fans at
rivals,
all.
and especially the situation they're in as well. They've not been great either this season, and we just let them play. We just
It's not even.
we just
That's
switched off at their goal as well. It's just
that's not even Brendan Rodgers' probably team. Do you know what I mean? You see, obviously Rodgers' team eventually over the seasons he's there, but that's not even. He's left with big Angie squad and he's still getting, you know what I mean, results there. Obviously, with a top player like Kyogo, but I can't do it. I cannot do Michael Beale anymore. And the same interviews you're on about, as you said to me when the managers start bringing back at the media, you think about the Champions League press conference when he was obviously asked. I can't remember off the top of my head, but what was it? It was, oh, you get hammered, and he went, I wouldn't maybe use that word.
mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe that, and that for me, it told me everything. You
Aye.
need to go. You're no good enough, mate. I obviously not angry with the guy. Do you know what I mean? Seems like a lovely man, but you're just not the guy for the job, mate. You're just not.
And he's getting himself a bad reputation with the stuff he comes out and says. People are going to look back at his time at the club now and they'll just be like, why did we ever go down this route?
Yeah.
This is basically us just trying to get Gerrard again. This is all this is. It's a project where we're trying to think, oh, let's try and get back to that point. We're not
Mhm.
actually ever want to go forward. We're never want to be a club that actually thinks forward and gets a
Mm.
like. It just pisses me off. Like, because I thought Michael Beale at the time was underwhelming. I said it at the time. I'm like, I can understand why we've went for him at this time, but it's really underwhelming, especially given the kind of dip in form he had at QPR and that. And obviously, people were excited at the time because he's the brains behind Gerrard's operation that won the league and stuff like that. Michael Beale done nothing because Michael Beale has not once showed the same sort of blueprint that a Steven Gerrard team had. In big
Mhm.
games like this, you could always rely on Steven Gerrard getting a turn out of players.
Absolutely. But that's what I'm on about. He's just not the guy. As I
No.
say, I know what's going to happen. He's going to obviously still be here, and then by the time that he's gone, it'll be done. As I
No.
said to you, I don't see us winning anything. It's remarkable to me how much confidence you delude yourself with that we could do, and then as I say, you watch a game like that, you watch some of the even for the pre-season games, and
No,
you think to
it was
yourself,
there. The warnings
what
were
is
there.
the what is this team's identity? What are we
Mm-hmm.
doing? What's the style? What's the formation? You know what I mean? You're just I don't understand anything he does. I don't
No.
the substitutions. I don't get it. You've just paid all that money for Danilo. We were all sitting there thinking, right, Danilo's going to be probably the guy,
Mm-hmm.
but no, he's went with the boy that get relegated, and you can understand why he was in a relegated team. He is woeful. That is a,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a waste of money. You can try and cover it up with all form of wherever in Holland or whatever. I don't care. He is woeful. Lammers. I thought Lammers was he was going to be all right, but Jesus, for me, my God, that chance he had, I really don't understand how he didn't put it in the back of the net. I don't,
No.
and that's you've got killers, a real top forward for me in Kemar Roof, man, that you just bring him off. What was the point in that? He was one of the only positive threats going forward. You bring him off. Cantwell, I can't do it with Cantwell. Like, bro, you need to turn up now. As I said to you, you can't be posting pictures laughing when Celtic go out the cup and then no turn up against Celtic. Just roll about like it's the Premier League. You
Nah,
can't be doing
he's just making himself out to be an idiot now. To be honest, Todd Cantwell. Like,
himself
if they loved Todd Cantwell at Rangers, like, but what we've seen towards the end of the season when the pressure was off is totally different from what we see now when it's real. You're fighting on all fronts and you need to deliver every game. I've not saw anything for Todd Cantwell yet that this season anyway that gets me kind of off my seat like the end of last season. And that
last
again,
game.
that could all boil down to the tactics that have been played because I don't know what this team is. Like I don't know what we're trying to do, as you say. Do the players know what they're doing? I don't know
Uh,
either.
surely it's something I thought as well. Surely they must look at each other and go, "This guy's getting the idea of what he's doing." I just personally, see if I was, I'd be like, "Well, it's this guy." As I'm about to say there, Raskin and all. Boy, you've been woeful, mate. You've been one of the worst players so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to what you've seen, as you say, when the pressure was off him, what have you? He's been dug.
Nah, it's the two of them could fall under the same bracket. And again, as you say, the warning signs were there for pre-season. The warning signs were there for last season, but everybody gave Michael Beale the benefit of the doubt then because it's not his team. It's not what he wants. It's not what he envisioned Rangers to be. He had
And
to get a window. He brought a couple of players in, energise the squad. We went toe to toe with Celtic what 3 or 4 times and lost out on all of them, bar for one that didn't matter.
mm,
The warning signs were there in terms of the big game feel and the chances we missed. And Michael Beale came out and he said numerous times he was going to rectify this. He's getting goal scorers in. He doesn't want players to miss decisive chances. We missed another one yesterday. And then in pre-season, it was, oh, this team's just been built. We've got this team early so we can compete and be ready. Excuse after excuse after excuse. At this point, there's none left now. This is Michael Beale's Rangers, and I feel that this is the game that Michael Beale's Rangers will be remembered by. Absolute like shite bags, like absolute shite bags at home in front of your full crowd, and you get beat off Celtic, who are really poor at the moment as well. Aye, this will sum up Michael Beale's tenure. I feel.
I absolutely agree with you, mate. I just can't even believe what I'm watching. I really
No,
can't.
it
You
just
just
sucks a life out.
it does, and that's what I'm on about. On you go, Jack. Go play for Scotland, bro. I don't really want to watch you play for Rangers. To be fair,
Well,
what happened?
there's the
What
team
happened
there.
to Ryan Jack, man?
I don't feel like Ryan Jack was the right call yesterday. John Lundstrom would have suited
I
more
can't
into.
believe we're saying that. I can't believe we're saying that in a lunchtime with us rotated. Do you know what I mean?
But you look
Um,
at it, you look at Sterling coming in at left back. He done all right. You can't. I'm not going to sit and criticise a guy that probably when I started up until half time of the PSV game last week. I thought he done all right though. Obviously Roof worked hard. I feel, but again, out in that more right wing role,
that's not where he needs to be.
it's
Roof
not
needs
where
to be centre. Needs to be front and centre.
obviously persevered with Cyril Dessers and it's still not paid off yet.
Why?
Rabbi
Why?
Matondo again, I thought he was maybe too weak yesterday, to be honest with you, with some of the stuff, but he's just the only kind of variation of that player we have. So I can understand why he picked this team, but again, we switch off at the back, lights are out, nobody's home, and Kyogo just pounces and he scores, and we have nobody in this team that will do that for us. That's what where the fine margins are.
Uh,
With Rangers and Celtic at the moment, it's poor mistakes costing us another game, and we're now clawing back and fighting back to try and get a league with a guy that nobody believes in, playing a system that nobody knows with players that probably aren't good enough. So, aye, it's depressing actually.
do
be Rangers.
you know what was quite embarrassing as well to watch
Mm.
yesterday? Seeing the second half, see watching Goldson get bullied by Kyogo, and Connor Goldson was looking to get a free kick. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
believe him. What was it? Kyogo and Maeda. The two of them
Yeah.
are going at Goldson, and just looking for the free. I'm like, big man, you should be bullying them.
Mm-hmm.
How would you getting bullied off they two? But I can't do it anymore, mate. It's
No,
actually
it's just
life out of me,
depressing.
man. And
Um,
I can't believe that they're going to sit there and persevere with this guy. You've
Nah,
lost the fans. Once you've lost us, there's no coming back. I don't understand how it's
because
hard.
he genuinely, for me anyway, he'd need to win every single possible game in the rest of the
You
season
know,
for me to actually get on side with him.
you'd need to win every game to the end of the season, and I can't see him doing that. I don't.
Nah,
I said to you, obviously when he came in and what have you, don't see him doing it in Europe. I don't. I never see him taking us on any heights that Gio took us in Europe. In the league, I was right, maybe, but I'd be lucky to finish. I think maybe Motherwell are flying. Motherwell near
nah.
St Mirren. Do you know what I
Motherwell,
mean?
St Mirren, Ross County, but there's teams that are they're doing well, and we are really underperforming. And the only way this is going to change if the manager gets removed. It's as simple as that.
I
There's no
can't believe
other.
that
We could
because
go round and round, and it's like
it's the same. It's the same old story. But I can't believe it. Let's be honest. If they thought we were coming into this like this season, we were gonna rattle it. We were gonna, you know what I mean? We were gonna win it. I don't care what MD says. Beale, right, cool. Beale needs his players. Once Beale's got his players, we'll play the football we want to see, and we'll win the title. That's never happening. Maybe in a different universe because it's not happening in this one. I'll tell you that much.
nah, it's not happening with Michael Beale anyway. And just as I say, we could go round in circles, and we could just keep talking about the same stuff. But what came to my attention was this screenshot for a podcast Michael Beale done talking about his vision. So we'll see if this matches up to the Rangers that we've saw on the pitch yet. High energy and attacking football, exciting to play and exciting to watch. That has not happened once actually yet this season. The only time that happened was actually the last 10 minutes against Livingston. That
I
was the
mean,
only time I saw anything that looked exciting this season. A unique, clear style of play. I don't see
don't
anything
know it.
clear about what we're
Don't know
doing.
that.
It
Absolutely.
definitely is unique because no cunt has
Ah,
a fucking clue what you're doing. Um, but it's not clear what it is. In a winning team, this isn't a team that wins games. We are consistently underachieving as a club, and it's just another method of contradiction. I feel here for what we're actually watching. I thought we'd finish with that. It's a bit of a laugh, but Michael Beale, his time up. The fans have lost you, mate, and I nothing else
I
to
don't
say
know.
really.
I've nothing else to say really. I can't believe I've just looked at how he's popped there. An exciting team, clear identity. Don't see any of that, mate. So
No,
exciting, some of the exciting players you shipped out.
no, no,
Like,
and some of the exciting players are on the bench, so.
ah,
Oh well, aye, that's that one done. You can tell by our voices that we cannot be bothered speaking about this for any longer. So
I
enjoy
look
your
forward to.
international break.
I enjoy your international break. Look forward to the next episode where we probably have a group of people we think should be the Rangers manager. Because this guy, as I say, this guy's time's done. Another thing we were talking about as well last night was the scouting. The fact that me and Jack have sat on this podcast and scouted better than the club, I think it's a joke.
Nah, because then when you look and see where these players end up going, they'll go to teams that we can compete
Top
with in
clubs in
terms of finance and wages and stuff, and then they'll move on and they'll do even better and they'll be superstar players. Like
I remember that
I'm
time
not
that
saying
guy we
I'm a
got.
fucking prime time scout
No,
then, but you can see
no.
it. We're human beings.
But
We
it's
can see
embarrassing.
football players.
It's embarrassing my football fans, who's a good footballer, and you know what I mean. You know when you see one, it's just embarrassing that we sit here and we do that, and then they go and they play for top Champions League teams, and me and you sit here and go, remember we were looking at him for a tier list or whatever, and now he's playing. It just
Yeah.
to me, but this guy's got to go. I mean, Michael Beale, away down to the city EastEnders, bro. On you go.
Aye, because
You're not fair.
that's the only job he's going to get after here. So, we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another video. So, see you.